So let's start. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I just want to let you know that we are in the city. We are in Midtown in Manhattan. So you might hear ambulances or police or someone shouting. So just bear with us. We're in the office. I'm here. I'm going to give you a little bit of our agenda and then who we are. So this is what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the full-time staff. We're going to give you some camp basics. We're going to talk about our campers. We'll do the camp program and the daily schedule. Judaism at camp. What does Israel look like at camp? Who are our staff? What does it look like inside a bunk? What goes on inside a bunk? We'll talk about food, which is everyone's favorite topic. And then we'll talk about special days, communication, how you register, and then at the end, what I'll do is I'll take time for questions. So the little box that you're chatting in now, you should chat questions, but when the presentation is over, because I will most likely get through a lot of your questions, and then at the end, I'll leave time for questions, and you can chat them in the chat box. So if you have a paper and pencil or pen with you, that's great, because then you can remember all of your questions. Okay, let's begin. So who are the full-time staff at Sprout Lake? So Helene Drobenaire is the director of camp. She couldn't be with us tonight. She has been the director of camp for 18 summers, so for a long time. My name is Talia. I am the associate director of camp, and I've worked at camp since 2005. So this will be a lot of summers for me. This will be my 12th, 13th summer, I think. So I'm very excited. Next, the guy sitting behind me, who's just right there, is Tyler. Tyler will talk to you in a little bit. He's our assistant director. He has been communicating with you, and also so is Renana, our registrar, who you see below. So there's 4 of us that work all together in the office, and we make up the very fun, very dynamic, and excited Sprout Lake team. We're all full-time, so we all are in the office during the year, recruiting campers and staff and getting ready for the summer. And then we are all up at camp in the summer in the office, and we love it. So that is who we are and who you're with tonight. So a couple of camp basics before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the presentation. So Sprout Lake is specifically for campers entering 2nd through entering 8th grade. So we are a little kids camp. We cater to elementary school and middle school, junior high kids. So when they get old enough and they graduate Sprout Lake, they can actually go to Camp Tel Yehuda. So we have another camp near Port Jervis, New York, that is specifically geared toward high school kids. So when they're done with Sprout Lake, all of the kids go to Camp Tel Yehuda with all of their friends from Sprout Lake. And what's really cool is there are 3 other camps around the country, 3 other Young Judaic camps. One in Texas, one in North Carolina, and one in Wisconsin. And they also, after 8th grade, all feed into Camp Tel Yehuda. So it's a really nice mix of kids from all over the country, and it makes it for a really nice community. So what's important for you to know is entering 2nd through entering 8th grade. Here are our session dates for this summer. Our general sessions, we have 2, are 3.5 weeks long. We do have some younger or shorter sessions for younger kids. We have a 1 and a 2 week specifically for entering 2nd through entering 3rd and entering 4th graders. Can do that. So you can, ask me more questions about that later. Those short sessions, since we only have 1 bunk of girls and 1 bunk of boys per session, do fill up rather quickly. So if you are interested in one of those, we can talk after or tomorrow or, another time. A lot of parents ask and a lot of kids ask, if I go to 2nd session, will the kids from 1st session still be there? So that's a really good question. Most of our campers only go 1 session. So a whole group of 200 kids, we have 200 kids each session, comes for the 1st session, and then they all leave, and then a whole new group comes for 2nd session. So a camper coming for 2nd session would be coming in new with every other camper. We have out of a total of 400 kids, so 200 each session, we have about 30 that stay for a full summer. So most of our campers are not full summer campers, and it gets more popular to stay a full summer as the campers get older. So this is our session dates. Where are we located? So this is a handy dandy little map. We're located in the Hudson Valley, the beautiful Hudson Valley of New York. If anyone's been there recently, the leaves are changing. It is so beautiful. It's about an hour and a half north of New York City, an hour and a half northern New Jersey, 2 hours from sort of Metro West New Jersey. So not too far away. It's 20 miles east of Poughkeepsie, New York. So and near Millbrook and that area. Like I said, very beautiful and not too far from lots of major cities. This is a map of camp, a cartoon map, one of my favorites. So this gives you, and we'll look at some of these buildings on our presentation today. This gives you a little bit of an idea of what camp looks like and how big it is. So it's not a huge camp because we are made for little kids. So a camper who is at archery can get relatively quickly down, let's say, to mini golf or something like that. So it might look big, but it's pretty small. So this is camp. This is what it looks like. And this is, if it's not on our website, we can email it. Some people like having this. Here is our dining room. So this is the outside of the dining room. And this grassy area we call the main bunk area. So you can't see it in this picture, but the bunks are in a circle all around the dining room, all around the chadarochel, we call it in Hebrew. This grassy area is a lot of times you'll see a frisbee being thrown, a football being thrown, a soccer ball being kicked, kids hanging out reading magazines, playing cards. So this is kind of a main area of camp. This is, we just went inside. So now we're inside the dining room. Our dining room is air conditioned. We'll talk more about food later, but campers sit by bunk. Their counselors help serve them. And we can fit all of camp in the dining room at the same time. So we don't have to do meal shifts or anything. All of camp eats together, family style. This is our tennis courts. And actually, a project we're working on for this year is repaving our tennis courts. So this coming summer, we should have beautiful new tennis courts. This is the inside of our indoor gym and where we have gymnastics. This is what we call the chorsha in Hebrew, or grove. You can see the benches. This is a really nice gathering place where we do performances. We gather here as a camp every night after dinner. Just a nice gathering place where all of camp can fit together. These are our studios building. What's really cool about the studios building is that it's 3 separate rooms, but the walls actually move. So we can make one big room. We use it for dance. We use it for karate. We use it for our video making elective, jewelry making, any indoor activity. And it's air conditioned, or we can put the garage doors up. So it's a really nice building, a nice indoor space. This is our beautiful Beit Knesset, which in English, that's Hebrew, is synagogue. This is where we come for not only tefillot and services, but we come here for lots of different performances. We might have a musician visit and do a concert for the campers. This is where we would be. And we'll talk more, of course, about Judaism and tefillah and all other things in the BK in a little bit. Basketball court. 2 lovely campers playing basketball. And behind them, you can see our baseball diamond. This is our soccer field. You can see actually behind the soccer field, our basketball court, our scoreboard. Gaga. I hope there are campers on this, watching this open house, and I'm sure they know what Gaga is. So we actually have 2 Gaga pits at camp. Very popular. Another one. And here are our furry friends, the animals. We actually have a petting zoo at camp. We have alpacas, we have sheep, we have a goat named Clarence. And you'll see farther in the presentation that we actually had a baby goat this summer. It was very exciting. So the baby goat gets a cameo in our open house. So you'll get to see the baby goat in a little bit. And we have chickens and we have ducks and bunnies, and it's all part of our outdoors and nature program. Campers love to care for the animals. It's just an exciting part of their day and an exciting part of camp. This is one side of the main bunk area. So you can see these are some of our newer bunks. Every year we're upgrading buildings and building buildings. So our plan is eventually to rebuild all of our bunks and have new bunks because we are exploding with campers. So this is just to give you an idea of what another side of the main bunk area looks like. This is our aquatic center. So this is actually brand new, built in summer 2016. So we have 2 huge pools and a giant water slide. Our pools are for swimming, instructional swim, and also for recreational swim, and also for just plain fun and water slide usage. You can see we have basketball hoops. And this is just kind of a closer up picture of our one of our pools, which is what is nice about it is that it is a zero front or beachfront entry. So, and it only goes up to 4 feet. So campers that, just want to hang out in the pool and don't want to swim or want to just relax, or campers that don't know how to swim and are a little scared of the water, this is a great pool for them. And again, you get a close-up of the giant water slide. And actually, when you're at the top of the water slide, you can basically see all of camp. It's one of the tallest points in camp. It's super cool. Just fun pictures of our campers on the water slide. Thought you would want to see that. Okay. Those were our facilities. I'm going to talk a little bit about who are our campers and where are they from. So I get this question a lot. So, okay, geographically, our campers are from all over New Jersey. So southern, middle, Metro West, northern New Jersey. So all over New Jersey. Some from eastern Pennsylvania, so around the Philadelphia area. All over New York. So primarily from Manhattan. We have, also from Riverdale in the Bronx, from Rockland County, from Westchester County, Dutchess County, near Poughkeepsie, all up by Albany, Long Island. We have a handful of kids from Connecticut, from near Boston, and also a pretty healthy contingency from Maryland comes up to camp. And then we have kind of outliers, like a camper from Florida, from California, from here and there. But generally, our campers are from the kind of the tri-state area and a little north of that and a little south of that. What's also interesting about our campers is that, aside from geographically, Jewish background-wise, because we don't affiliate with any denomination, our campers are coming with a really wide spectrum of Jewish background. So we have campers who camp is literally their first Jewish experience. They may have never been in a synagogue, definitely not a Jewish day school, all the way across the spectrum to kids who are more observant at home, who maybe go to day school, and every kind of Jewish camper in the middle. And we accept every camper, and they feel comfortable Jewishly at camp. And I think that's what makes Sprout Lake really unique. 1/3 of our campers go to Jewish day school and 2/3 do not, if that gives you kind of an idea of the makeup of the kids at camp. So that's where they come from in terms of backgrounds and where they come from geographically. And I think what we'll do now is I'll give the microphone to Tyler, and I will let Tyler talk about what you probably are wondering about, which is what do you do every day? So Tyler is going to talk about the daily schedule, the program, electives, and all the really fun activities we have. So get excited. I'm just going to sit here and watch. You might have to talk close to that. I'm not sure.
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me okay. So my name is Tyler, as Talia mentioned. I'm the Assistant Director for Sprout Lake, and one of my large roles during the summer is doing all the programming and all the scheduling and really planning how the day rolls out at camp. So I'm really excited to talk to you about this. This is what I love to do, and so we can get started. So as you can see, the basic layout of our day starts with wake up, and then everybody goes to flag raising, or we like to call mifkad, where all of camp stands around the flagpole. Everybody does a different bunk song and a different way to get excited for the day. And then everybody heads down to the Beit Knesset, the BK, for morning tefillot. And those usually last about 20 to 25 minutes or so, and then everybody heads up to breakfast. And breakfast is great. We're going to talk about food a little bit later. So after breakfast, everybody heads back to their bunk for cleanup. And then after cleanup finishes, then we roll out our normal day. So our day is split up into 2 different types of activities. So there are electives, and then there are community activities, or sebebs, as we like to call them. So the basic way that we like to think about it is the groups, the entering 2nd through entering 6th grade, have their electives in the morning, and the 7th and 8th graders have their community activities in the morning, and then that switches after lunch. So the way that electives really roll out are we want the kids to have as much choice as possible. We want to gear the schedule towards what they want. So we have offerings for them where they can choose and they can decide what they want to focus on for the entire session. So we'll have a big elective fair in the beginning of the summer where they'll get to go around to all the different elective areas, learn what different projects or different skills they'll be learning from the people who will be teaching them, and then they get to sign up for the things that they're interested in. So they pick a list of the different activities that they want to focus on, and then we put them into a computer, and we spit them out, and then each kid gets their own individual schedule. And that's really great because it allows us to tailor the program to them, and they can focus on what they really want to focus on, as I said before. So they'll have their electives, and they'll get to go through those electives with other kids from 2nd through 6th grade or 7th and 8th grade as it's split up, and they'll do those electives every single morning or every single afternoon throughout the session. And we have tons of different offerings from electives, anything from every sport we have to offer, all of the different arts and crafts options, whether it be...
We'll talk
about that a little more, yeah. And then to talk about our community activities, that's where they get to spend time with their bunks and with their divisions, and they'll be doing activities with their age groups, with their counselors, and those are highly concentrated, highly planned, highly scheduled, and they really make our program what it is.
So they'll be like doing like art.
So they'll be able to go to every aspect of our program throughout these community activities. So they'll be doing our performing arts activities, art dancing, arts and crafts, sports. Really every aspect of our program is open to them during these community activities. They'll get to experience it with their bunks.
Good.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about the electives?
Yes. So just to talk about some of our electives we have to offer, here is woodworking, which is incredibly popular. We completely redid our woodworking program for this past summer, and the kids really got to dive in deep. They used hand tools, and they really got to focus in on making some really great projects. Here is our ropes course. So the kids who are in the ropes electives really get to experience all the ropes has to offer. There's 3 different sides to our climbing wall that they get harder as they go up, as you can see. We have a zip line, which is incredibly popular. Everybody will get to go across the zip line throughout the summer. We have low ropes activities meant to engage the community and really meant to strengthen the bond between each other. It's a really good exercise for team building, and we have different low rope activities throughout our ropes areas. And here's our high ropes. There's different tight ropes and different obstacles that the kids will challenge themselves through that all connect to our wall up at the top. Here's another one of our low ropes activities where the kids work as a team to get each other over a beam. And here's archery. Our archery instructor is incredible. He really helps the kids learn how the proper form in shooting bows and arrows, and they get really good by the end of the summer. This is ceramics, which is probably our most popular elective. We have 5 wheels that the kids will learn how to make really incredible ceramics projects. They make bowls, they make vases, they make different just incredible pieces that we showcase at the end of the summer. This is sewing, which is another one of our really popular activities. This past summer, they made bucket hats, they made little backpacks and little pillows. This is printmaking, which is part of our art du jour elective, where kids get to experience different arts and crafts projects. So they'll work on different screen printing. This is another part of the art du jour where it's just painting over one of the ceramics projects. This is gymnastics, which takes place in our Beit Am, our indoor gymnastics area. We recently had a big upgrade to our gymnastics facilities, so we have balance beams, we have some trampolines, a few bars in there. It's really great. Soccer on our soccer field. Here's another picture of soccer.
More soccer. Like soccer.
Definitely like soccer. Basketball on our newly resurfaced basketball court. More basketball. Yeah, we do full instruction. Tennis, and like Talia said, the tennis court's going to be resurfaced for this upcoming summer, and the tennis instructor we had is really great. Hockey, this is the director, Helene, loves hockey. We have a modular hockey set that we can set up. That's her there dropping the puck. We have a modular hockey set that we can set up wherever we want, and the kids really enjoy getting to play. Frisbee, another one of our incredibly popular activities. We have some staff members who play competitive ultimate Frisbee, so they really get good at all of their at the forms and throwing forehands and backhands, and Frisbees are just launching around camp. Swimming, so we'll offer different pool games and pool-based electives, so we'll do things like water polo or pool games or endurance swimming, different ways to get kids into the pool and having a blast. This is one of our performing arts electives. We do different plays and shows and workshops to get kids more interested in acting. Video, another really one of our popular electives. Kids kind of do the entire process through writing a script and shooting it and editing it, and then at the end of the summer, we'll showcase those videos that they made. Dance, which is incredibly popular for everyone in camp as an elective and as just a community activity. We'll do singing and songwriting. We had some incredible songs from this past summer. Kids will come and bring instruments, and we also have our highly talented songwriting staff as part of our performing arts staff, and they really know what they're doing. This is our jewelry making elective, and they'll make some really great things in jewelry. They use real metals and real beads and real actual pieces of jewelry and make things that are very high quality. Cooking, which is another one of our incredibly popular activities. Cooking, it's a blast. The kids come in and like different recipes each day. They'll learn about making sure everything's in place and kind of working their way through a recipe and then making sure to clean up at the end. It's really a highly regulated activity. Gardening, so we have a very active garden, and we will use the ingredients that we grow in the garden in the cooking studio as well. And here's more gardening. We had a big microgreen display last summer, which worked out very well. This is part of our TUL, or hiking program, and our outdoor learning program, which is another one of our very popular ones. The kids will go out and they'll learn just different areas and how to get around and how to navigate. Very popular. Back to our petting zoo, which the kids love to come, and as you'll see shortly, our little friend who was born in camp this summer. Next one? No, one after that. One of our chickens. This is our new friend that joined us this summer. The kids all saw right after. His name is Sprinkles, as named by the campers. His mother's name is Donut, and his sister's name is Munchkin. So of course his name had to be Sprinkles. So the kids, we've been getting pictures from the woman that boards them throughout the winter of the update of how he's growing. We'll have a nice little compilation of how our little baby goat has grown throughout the off season. This is yoga, which takes place in our studios building. Rocketry, which was a very popular activity, which was something that I loved being able to run at camp. We had all of our, there's me, you can see me launching the rocket right there. This was incredibly popular. We had all of our kids, all of our youngest kids, building their own rockets and then getting to press the button and launching their own rockets into the sky. They went up about 1,000 feet and came down. It was one of the highlights of the summer for me especially, and I know for a lot of the kids. They all got to take their rockets home and they can all be reused. It was an incredible program that we ran with this rocketry.
Good?
Yep.
Great. And I'm back. Hope you didn't miss me. Okay. We're going to talk. Rockets were awesome. You can actually see me in the background too. There I am. Hello. Everyone had to be at Rockets. It was so exciting. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Judaism at camp and about Israel at camp. So I spoke a little bit about it earlier, but all of our kids, like I said, come from very different Jewish backgrounds. So it's our job at Sprout Lake to make sure that all the campers feel comfortable. And we do that by making the way we do Jewish at camp the Sprout Lake way, and making it different for everybody and new for everybody. And so nobody can say, oh, I do this at home and you don't, or I'm uncomfortable because I don't do this at home. So we try to use special tunes and special songs to really get the kids engaged. So we have a morning tefillah. It's about 25 minutes long before breakfast, and we use guitars and we use really fun, engaging tunes. The campers actually make up hand movements to some of the tefillot, and we have, you'll see they're holding, oh, perfect. So what I was going to talk about. So we have our own siddur at camp that was written just for us, and it has Hebrew, it has Hebrew transliteration, it has the English translation, and what you can't see here, but throughout the Siddur is poems and stories and pictures and really wonderful ways to get the campers to connect. So definitely a lot of our campers are not used to having daily tefillah. It might not even be their favorite thing about camp, but they like it because it's invigorating. It wakes them up in the morning. We use music. They're doing it with their bunk. And if they don't connect to prayer, they have a book to read. They have something to look at in the Siddur. So it's really quite nice. We sit all together as a community, which is really nice. Shabbat is a very special time at camp. So on Friday afternoon, all the campers kind of shower and get themselves clean. Well, they do shower every day, but they shower specifically before Shabbat. I'll talk more about showers later. And they get ready for Shabbat. We're not, campers do dress up a little bit, not super fancy. Some wear white. And we get ready for Shabbat, and we all go down together to the Beit Knesset, and we have a Kabbalat Shabbat. We have a service. The staff started by doing a dance and a song, and we show a video of the week, and then we light the candles. And from when we light the candles on Friday to when we do Havdalah on Saturday at Sprout Lake, we are Shomer Shabbat. So we try, but at Sprout, it's not about what you can't do on Shabbat because we're Shomer Shabbat. It's all about what you can do. So we try to have a really fun Friday night and Saturday during the day of a totally different schedule. So Friday night after a traditional Shabbat dinner, there's a really fun activity. It's usually some sort of, instead of Saturday Night Live, it's called Friday Night Live. And the counselors usually do some really funny skits for the kids. The kids get to stay up a little bit late on Saturday morning. The campers get to sleep in. We have really fun breakfast, a sweet breakfast of cake and sugar cereal. So we only have sugar cereal once a week on Shabbat, and we have coffee cake and just a really special breakfast on Shabbat. And after breakfast, we go down on Saturday morning. We have tefillah. The tefillot are about 45 minutes. We do a Torah service. It's a little shorter. We only do 3 aliyot. And campers can read Torah, staff can read Torah. We even have campers who had never read Torah before and wanted to learn and read Torah for the first time, so we're able to do that. And then after Shabbat services, we have a whole day of sports tournaments. The pool is open. The campers have special Shabbat electives. They have special time with their bunk. So we sort of organize the day so that it's totally different than every other day of the week. And the campers don't even miss the certain things that they can't do on Shabbat, like writing or art. They don't even realize that they're being Shomer Shabbat. On Saturday night, we all gather together on the basketball court and have a Havdalah service. We use the Havdalah candle, and we do a beautiful Havdalah service. And after we say goodbye to Shabbat at Havdalah, we do Israeli dancing. And it is tradition at Sprout Lake, as it is in all the other Young Judea camps, like I was talking about, where all the kids do Israeli dancing on Shabbat. And parents will often say to me, like, no way, there's no way my child will do Israeli dancing. I can't believe it. But everyone does it. Boys, girls, young, old, everyone does it. And it's so much fun. And it's just a sight to see if you're standing sort of at the office and you can see down to the basketball court, seeing literally 300 people doing a line dance, an Israeli line dance. It's just so much fun. So that is, a little bit about Judaism at camp, and it's a good transition to talk about Israel. So I think one of the aspects of Sprout Lake that makes us unique is our connection to Israel. So it's been said that wherever you are in camp, you can see an Israeli flag. And that's just part of who we are. So we are not political at all about Israel. We don't teach any politics. We teach culture, we teach about food, we teach about the geography, about the language. We have a lot of Israeli counselors in camp. We try to have one Israeli counselor in every bunk. And usually these counselors are just out of the army. So they're coming with such a mission to just give back to the kids, to give them their Israel experience. What's their life like? To teach them Hebrew. So I think that's really one thing. We say we don't really affiliate with a denomination, but the kind of the Hebrew at camp and the pieces of Israel that are in camp, I believe are what make us really, really unique. Here's our Israeli staff going crazy, doing some Yom Israel Day activity with the campers. And then scouts. So we have Sofim, they're called at camp. So Israeli scouts that come and they do really funny games and songs with the kids and wear these uniforms that are so adorable. So I think that, Israel has a really nice, strong presence at camp. We're going to move to talk about our staff. You want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tyler's back. We don't want you to get too attached to one of us. You have to get closer.
So obviously we're a little biased in saying that we have the best staff in all of the camping industry, but our staff really is incredible. They care so much about these kids and giving them such positive experiences, and they come back year after year to really help make a difference in all these kids' lives. So just a little bit background about our staff. A majority of our staff members were campers at Sprout Lake, which is incredibly important because they had all these experiences growing up, and then they came back to just continue to give these experiences to other children. So they came to camp, they went up through their years, and went to Tel Yehuda, and then came back, and they brought this element to Sprout Lake, which is really incredible. And the kids look up to these counselors. They want to be just like them. They want to go up through and then be counselors themselves one day. And it really helps us grow our program, and you can see how much our staff members are really loved at camp. So that is a majority of our staff are these Americans that came and went. And then, as Talia mentioned, the other portion of our staff are our Israeli staff, our shlichim. So the director, Helene, will go over to Israel every year, and she'll interview in person a bunch of Israeli staff. She'll hire the best of the best, and then they'll come back and they'll bring a different element to camp. They'll bring some outside experiences, whether it be from the Army, whether it be from different service opportunities that they've had. And it really helps bring in some new ideas and some great positive energy in camp. This is one of my absolute favorite pictures of the summer. We had a twin dinner, and of course one of our campers wanted to dress up like one of his counselors, and I mean, it's just great. It makes me smile every time I look at it. But our staff really are amazing, and these kids really do look up to them and really want to make sure that they get to do that when they get older too. And we'll see that every year we're hiring more staff that went through Sprout Lake, and it really is great. The other part of our staff, our support staff, are areas like in our infirmary, our medical center. We have nurses on staff on site at all time that live in camp. We have doctors that rotate. We'll have a doctor every single day in camp to tend to any medical needs that the campers have. This is our very recently renovated, incredible infirmary and health center. Nice and clean always. There's rooms for kids to sleep if they're sick and they're not feeling well. This is our gate, which is an important aspect of our security. At Sprout Lake, we do have 24-hour security on our premises. There's a security guard on camp at all times, making sure that we're all safe, and walking the grounds at night to make sure that we're all safe at all times. The kids love our security guards. They'll always wave and say hi to them. They're incredibly friendly, and they want to make sure that these kids really are having a safe and incredible summer.
Okay, I'm back. I'm going to add a couple of things about security. So in addition to having the security guard 24/7, we have cameras all over camp. This gate that you see here is the only way in and out of camp. Most of camp is actually surrounded by a little bit of road and mostly a river. No one is allowed into camp without going past the security guard. They have to come to the office if they're allowed in. The security guard has a walkie-talkie. We tell them they're allowed to come in. They come in, they get, a visitor pass. So we're very strict on security. Last summer, so summer 2017 was the first time we had 24-hour security. Before that, we had only had it at night. And last summer, it was a great shift. We moved to having security guards 24/7, and it was really great for camp. It was really great for safety, and they were a great part of the team. So that's a little bit about our staff in general. Let's move to the fun part, inside a bunk. So we're going to look inside a bunk and talk about what's going on inside a bunk. All of our cabins, all of our bunks have these wooden bunk beds. They're brand new. Campers come on the first day and they decide with their counselors whether or not they want a top bunk or a bottom bunk, middle, next to the bathroom, next to the door, whatever they prefer. There are between 12 to 16 kids in a bunk and between 3 and 5 counselors. So our counselor ratio is 1 to 4. So however that works out, we make sure that works out within a bunk. On the first day of camp, actually, parents do drop off, but parents are not allowed in the bunk. Only campers are. So, and we wait till all the campers, the staff wait till all the campers come, and they work with all of them and figure out where they want to sleep and who wants a top bunk and who wants a bottom bunk, and they really work it out as a community. So it's not like I got here first and I get the bed I want. They really work it out. The campers learn how to unpack. The counselors help them. They fold their stuff. They put it on their shelves. It's their first experience away for a lot of them, even if they've been to camp before, and it's important for them to unpack their own stuff and know where everything is and know where their socks are and their t-shirts and stuff like that. We do laundry for them at camp twice during a 3.5-week session. So we have a laundry service that gives each camper a laundry bag with their name on it, and they put all of their laundry in it, and it gets put outside their bunk and picked up and brought back 24 hours later, folded and clean. So we do that twice for our campers during camp. And we have several laundry machines on camp should any issue arise or we need to wash somebody's stuff. But we send out closer to when camp starts, a packing list with sheets and how many of this and water bottles and everything you need. So that comes closer to kind of February, March. Shower time is another fun thing about living in a bunk. We make sure that every camper showers every day, brushes their teeth twice a day, and all campers have to do a tick check at night before they go to bed. So a couple things. So campers with the showers, they sign up for morning shower, afternoon shower, or night shower. They do that on the first day of camp, and that's how the counselors ensure that the campers are showering every day. The brushing teeth, they have brushing teeth checklists. The counselors also know how to check toothpaste tubes, check shampoo bottles, and make sure the campers aren't just running in the shower and running out, but they're actually washing their hair. They're actually brushing their teeth with real toothpaste. We've caught on to all the tricks, and we know. And then in terms of ticks, each bunk has a couple of magnifying glasses with flashlights. The campers buddy up. They help each other tick check, and then the counselors help them too, and they know to check themselves in the shower. So that is all part of the night routine. Any camper that finds a tick is taken up to the infirmary immediately. The tick is removed. It's kept. We keep the tick for our records. Sometimes families want the tick, and then we send you an email home immediately to let you know, and then we also check the campers every few days from then on to make sure they don't have any achiness, feverish, tired, or some sort of bullseye rash. So we take that all very seriously, and that all happens in the bunk at night. And our counselors go through a training during their staff orientation on showering, tick checks, toothpaste, brushing teeth, how to make sure kids are wearing hats, how to make sure that they're, drinking enough water. So the counselors, these are little kids, and the counselors are very, very good, and they're trained on the details. This is to campers during rest time. They're writing letters home. Twice a week, we require the campers to write letters home on Wednesdays and Fridays. No, Wednesdays and Sundays. They get pre-addressed postcards where they write home. And that is how you'll hear from them. You can also, we'll talk about communication, but you can email them and all sorts of different fun things. This is campers just playing cards, having a great time at rest time, or maybe they're done cleaning up. This is a work chart, or sometimes it's called a work wheel. So after breakfast every day, which you saw on the schedule with Tyler, the campers have time to clean up. and they each get a job every day. It rotates. They're not only responsible for their own bed, to make their own bed and have their own shelves look nice, they're responsible for something in the bunk, like sweeping or making sure that the clothesline is clean or making sure that the sinks are clean. And then they get graded every day. Someone comes in and checks their bunk, and then the bunk that has the highest score at the end of the week gets a special ice cream party. So we do incentivize it, and their bunks are very clean. I just always like this picture because it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on in the bunk. You'll see the work wheel on the back. You'll see their shower chart. You'll see their, there's this thing that says wait, and that's saying, do you have everything you need? Do you have sunscreen? Do you have a water bottle? We do sunscreen twice a day. So sunscreen right after breakfast and also right after lunch. You can see their bunk contract in the background. You can see their work wheel in the background. You can also see clean laundry sitting on someone's bed. That means laundry just came back. And this I really love. This is a picture that we got of someone's bunk contract. All the campers on the first night of camp will do a contract with their bunk, and they'll talk about how they're going to act to each other, how they're going to live as a bunk community. And we really, if there should be any challenges or problems in the bunk, the counselors really hold the campers to their bunk contract and saying, we said we'd speak respectfully. We said we, offer for help or respect each other. So that's very nice. And then this picture always reminds me to talk about water bottles, hats and water bottles. Very serious about hats, sunscreen, and water bottles. We actually give every camper a water bottle on the first day of camp that says Sprout Lake and has their name. We also encourage you to send multiple water bottles because they do get left. They get lost. They find their way back to their camper, but, sending an extra 2 water bottles could never hurt. And my favorite part, this is my favorite question, what is our electronics policy? So our electronics policy is nothing with a screen. So no iPhone, no iPad, no laptop, what else is there? I don't know. Whatever iTouch, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing with a screen. No old phone that doesn't have a SIM card. Like no screens. We had that this summer. Like, oh, but I took out the SIM card and my daughter uses it for me. The only thing we allow is one of these things under OK, which is basically a small MP3 player that plays music. And even that we would discourage because we feel like a camper just, once in a while if he gets fine or to fall asleep, but we really, like the picture you saw of the campers playing cards, we really want the campers to hang out with each other, engage with each other. It's really like how summer camp was when I was growing up and there were no electronics is the same way it is now. So it's great for them to be unplugged and no screens. We will collect them. We keep, campers always hide them and always bring them, and we just collect them and we keep them in a safe and give them back at the end of the summer. Nobody gets in trouble, but we don't need them at camp. We just don't need them. Food. Tyler likes to eat and cook. So I'll let him talk to you about food.
My favorite subject, food at camp. So I'm going to preface it with that at camp, our goal is to make sure that every kid leaves the dining room full, having eaten something, and not only something, but something that they really have enjoyed. So I'm going to we'll run through the day and talk a little bit about what we serve at each meal and how food works throughout the day. So we'll always have different bars set up, and I'll explain. So if we want to talk about breakfast. So breakfast, there's always going to be a hot option, whether it be eggs or oatmeal or hash browns. There's always something warm for the kids to eat in the morning. They'll have options of different cereals. As Talia said, with Shabbat, that's when they'll have their sugar cereals, but throughout the week, they'll have things like Rice Krispies and Chex and all different types of milks. We cater to every type of milk that a kid would ever want. Our breakfast bar also has things like yogurt and granola and cottage cheese and different fruit options, whether it be melons or grapes or berries. The kids absolutely love the breakfast bar. You see it getting restocked all the time. It's very popular. As we move throughout the day, the kids will they'll have different snacks that are available to them. We always have bowls of fruit stationed around camp, so if a kid's ever hungry and wants something to eat, they'll have a healthy snack available to them at all times. As we move towards lunch, lunch is usually our meat meal of the day, so while breakfast and dinner are usually our dairy meals, we'll have meat for lunch. So there'll always be a hot option for them. They'll have 2 side dishes with lunch, and then they'll have once again, our bar, which is now more of a salad bar. So there'll be different protein options, whether it be tuna salad or egg salad, and there'll be different vegetables available to them. Our kitchen staff make incredible salad dressings from scratch that the kids really do love. There'll be hard-boiled eggs, and then all the different little vegetables that they could want. As they move through the day, we like to give them usually a saltier snack towards the day, but it'll always be something with nutrition in mind. They'll get some whole wheat pretzels or some Nutri-Grain bars or things like that the counselors will pick up and deliver to them. And then as far as dinner goes, dinner is back to dairy meal. We like to have a nice balanced dinner for them. So there'll be different pasta options or cheese quesadillas or vegetarian tacos. There's tons of different options. Our kitchen staff is incredible, and they make everything from scratch. We have in the past couple of years, we've incorporated a new catered kitchen program. So the emphasis on quality. They come in and they cook this incredible food for us. They make most of it from scratch. They bring new recipes that they want us to try, and then the kids really do love them. We had so many different groups this summer make posters for the kitchen staff and how much they appreciated the hard work that they put in. The kitchen staff is very well loved around camp. More food. So yeah, this is barbecue, which is another incredibly popular meal. We'll have a barbecue once a week with hamburgers and hot dogs and different veggie options, which here's a picture of our salad bar. It's another really important thing about us is making sure that every kid is comfortable eating everything. We are very aware of all allergies the kids have, whether it be gluten allergies or nut allergies or any intolerances. We really cater to what the campers need. Vegan, vegetarian. We have a bracelet system where the kids will wear different colored bracelets based on the things that they can't eat, which really make it easy on our staff and our kitchen staff to make sure that the kids are eating what they would like to eat and what they should be eating. So like I said before, we'll have different types of milks, whether it be soy milk or rice milk, and then low fat. And then we'll have always different vegetarian and vegan options that aren't just the same thing for them to eat every day. Our kitchen really likes to put out new and interesting vegan and vegetarian options for our kids so that they'll always find something that they'll enjoy.
Good.
Good.
Did you say we're kosher?
Oh, of course. I mentioned we are dairy and meat, but yes, we are a fully kosher camp. Everything that comes out of our kitchen is fully kosher. All of our meat is kosher. Absolutely everything.
You forgot that.
I mentioned it.
Most important part.
I mentioned it peripherally.
Don't mind us. Okay. Okay, so that was a little bit about food, and like Tyler said, for us, I mean, the kids are running around all day. They're getting, expending a lot of energy. They have to eat. We have a rule. You cannot leave the dining room unless you've eaten something. We will find something for your picky camper to eat. We've done it all. I am not scared. So we've done allergies. We've done picky. And we really are good at encouraging campers to try new things. Take one bite. You don't like it, we'll get you something else. And they really go for it. We also have a very good balance, I think, of nutritious snacks and nutritious food versus junk. We do have ice cream, we do have cookies and brownies, but we don't have them all the time. We have them enough and also we do a lot of fruit sometimes for dessert. So I don't think campers feel like they don't get enough of that. They get a very good balance. We're going to talk, one of the last things we're going to talk about is when we have special days at camp. So sometimes that schedule that you saw, we just scratch that and we do some really fun things. For instance, this is Color War, Maccabiah. It's a really fun day at camp. It's usually towards the end of the session. All of camp, I'm sorry for I told you, the ambulances, they're very distracting. So all of camp is split into 3 teams. They wear 3 different color shirts. They spend the whole day having competitions with each other. So it could be sports competitions, swimming competitions. We have baking competitions, gymnastics competitions, card playing competitions, like any kind of competition you can think of. There's a lot of cheering. Like the most important competition is who can do the best cheering, who has the most ruach. In Hebrew, that means like spirit, who has the most excitement for their team. And it's basically 24 hours long, and this is the yellow team, and it does end in a team winning. So somebody does win. Not a lot of times we say like everyone's a winner, but on Maccabi and Color War, somebody always wins. 3-legged race. We have a big fun relay at the end of Maccabi. It goes all over camp, and every single camper participates in something in the relay. Everybody, you have to participate. So it could be, having a 3-legged race or feeding somebody pudding blindfolded or something really silly. So everyone participates. Another special day, you're probably wondering what these campers are doing with hairnets and aprons. Another special day is we have a very nice social action program at camp where all the campers will go out and volunteer somewhere. There's an acronym for our program. It's called MADIMAO, which stands for Making a Difference in My Own Way. And all campers will do volunteering. This is campers going to a soup kitchen. This is campers going to something called the Poughkeepsie Farm Project, where they helped harvest and pick vegetables, healthy vegetables for the low-income members of the community. Our youngest kids go to a senior citizens home. So the campers go, basically, our oldest kids go and help organize in a food pantry. So every camper will do some sort of volunteering outside of camp, and then they'll come back and they'll talk about it and the value of volunteering in Tikkun Olam as a Jewish value, which is very nice. And then at the end of camp, every camper will have $5 single with them, and they will we put different organizations up on tables. Campers and counselors represent different organizations, and the campers have the opportunity to decide who they're going to donate their money to. So that's our social action program and other special days in camp. More special days, we take all the kids to Splashdown, which is a water park about 20 minutes away from camp. These kids just look miserable, don't they? They're having a great time. We take them right after breakfast. They don't come home until right before dinner. They spend the whole day there. We eat there, everything at the water park. Really fun. And then the last special day is each group will go on a hiking trip. So they'll go to a state park, they'll go hiking, they'll sleep in tents, and they'll come home the next day. That is also an important part of our program. Get out in the nature, out in the wilderness, sleep in a tent, get a little dirty, sing songs around a campfire, have some s'mores, and then come back the next morning. Always a lot of fun. Okay, so we're almost done. A couple things I want to talk about. This is a screenshot of what your account might look like if once you register for camp. And this is also once you register for camp, everything can be done within your account. You'll see forms and documents. This is where all your health forms will be. This is all financial management. You'll see this camp stamps. This is where you can see photos every day. So we upload hundreds of photos every day. This is a screenshot of what it looks like. So we pretty much guarantee one picture of every camper every day. So you'll be able to see your camper every day. We upload also videos a couple of times a week so you can see live action what's going on. Through your account, your Camp in Touch account, you can email your camper. So you click on their name and you can type them an email, and we print it out every day. They can also email you back on a piece of paper. You can see down here it says, I would like a handwritten reply. That comes with your email. They write on it, and then it gets scanned into your email. It's very fancy. So that is how you communicate with your campers, through mail, through snail mail, and through emails. Other ways are through me. Tyler's job at camp is the schedule. One of my main jobs at camp is being the camp mom and making sure all campers are happy and healthy and enjoying themselves. And I do a lot of talking to parents and reassuring them that their campers are doing fine and great, or maybe they're not doing fine. Maybe they're having a challenging time, but I'm still honest and we work together on it. So that's one of my jobs at camp. New for last summer, we started a no package policy. So we don't actually allow any care packages at Sprout Lake. And most of our parents, almost all of our parents, love it. And there's no pressure to send packages and things that the campers don't need. We do, of course, have exceptions for things that they left at home or things they need or they forgot. And our other exception is for birthdays. If a camper has a birthday at camp, then we allow a birthday package, of course. So that's a little bit about communication. One last thing is that we have a weekend coming up. It is a little less than a month. It is for 1st through 7th graders. It is up at camp. It is a great opportunity for campers to sleep in a bunk, to meet some new kids, to meet myself, to meet Tyler, to meet some of our staff. The only thing I will caution about is that it's not exactly like camp. Like the pool isn't open because it's cold, and the ropes course isn't open. It's a lot of fun, and you know, a lot of our campers sign up after going to that or sign up before and then try that out. So I don't know what that is. Let's say no. Okay. Tyler has to catch a train, so we're gonna say bye.
Bye, everyone.
We're gonna say bye to Tyler, but I'll stay with you. Don't worry. So that's fall camp. And that's really it. I am done. I'm parched. I'm going to have some water. I will stay. If you guys want to chat in your questions, I will read the questions out loud and I will answer them. If you ask me a question in private, I will not read it out loud and I will make sure to just chat back to you. So I will wait around here for a little while and just